Hello and welcome to the Bitchy Quill. I'm Heather Brooks,
I'm Cardyn Brooks.
and we have today an author mini-sode. And today's author is Anne Marie Wells, who's going to talk to us about her memoir, her travel memoir, Happy Iceland. Hello, thank you so much for being on today. We will want to hear all about Happy Iceland and how that came into being. It's a travel memoir, and I'm assuming I didn't get to read it yet. It's on the summer TBR. All of our guest minisodes are on the TBR, but as you know, TBRs are long. But I'm curious if it's you traveled solo.
I did. It was a solo trip of celebrating my or observing my 30th birthday. At the
Congratulations.
time, 10 years ago now. It's coming up on the 10-year anniversary of my trip, and the book is coming out at the same time. Um, and I was 29 years old, in a rut, unemployed, in a relationship that I didn't think was going to go anywhere, and watching my peers thrive, getting promotions, starting businesses, finding the loves of their lives, la da 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 da. And I was thinking to myself, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing different
Aw.
from everybody, that I'm going from one dead end job to one dead end job, one dead end relationship to another? And so I had this dream that I wanted to go to Iceland. And um, Iceland is also at the top of like the World Happiness Index.
I've heard
It's
that.
it's not necessarily first, but it's up there. It's always like second or third. It's the top three. It's on the podium always. And so I thought to myself, well, why not ask them what makes them happy, and see what I might learn.
Go to the source.
Go to the source. Yeah, exactly. And so that idea kind of evolved into, well, that's how I'm going to travel. And I saved my money for like 3 years to take this trip.
Wow.
But shortly before this trip, I had this idea that I would ask Icelandic locals about their happiest memories, and I would try to go find where those happiest memories took place, wherever
Mm.
they were. And I had no idea what the answers were going to be. And I ended up going to an island where a young man went camping with his family. I found high school sports fields. I found childhood farms. I found the location outdoors where a couple believes they conceived their oldest daughter, their first daughter together. So I went all over the place, from these local spots to very remote places needing help to even find them. Many people saying, I've never heard of this place before. But I did end up finding every location, and I collected 12 happy places in total.
How long were you
Wow.
there?
I was there for 5 weeks. So
Oh,
from the
wow.
end of June to the beginning of August. Yeah,
Wow. What an amazing
2016.
project. That's actually, I would call that a living art project myself. That's art to
I
me.
didn't know it at the time. I wasn't a writer. I had a children's book out. My children's book had just come out a year before through my university press. But other than that, my writing CV was empty. Um,
Mhm.
but I had this idea, and I held on to it for this long. I couldn't let it go. I held on to it. I learned how to write because of this project. I read books on writing. I started taking courses on writing. I went to writers' conferences, writing coach, editors, everything over the course of 10 years. I have the literary career I have now
Right,
because I had to learn how to write
right.
this book.
Yes. Let me
Wonderful.
ask you this as well. Now, when you look back on your late 20s and maybe how you were comparing yourself to your peers, are you able to look at your 20-something-year-old self with more compassion, or how do you think of yourself now when you think about that time?
Yes, I have to remind myself that I'm living my dream. I do have to remind myself of that. I haven't figured out the career thing. So writing is my career, but it does not pay the bills. And so I freelance edit for the most part. That's my bread and butter.
Yeah.
And I love it. No complaints there, but still uh does not pay the bills. But
Mm.
I have figured out the love thing, and I have my forever love, who's a wonderful human being. And we have one son together who's 2 now.
Oh,
Oh, congratulations on all of that.
do you feel
Thank
like
you,
going
thank
to
you.
Iceland helped you get in touch and get unstuck in the way that you wanted it to?
Yes, but those lessons took a little while to settle in.
Mhm.
Lessons
So
often do.
lessons often do. And for the most part, I would say even through grief, even through hard times, that I'm happy anyway. Whereas I
Mm,
couldn't say that before, that
mm,
my happiness was very conditional with what
mm,
was going on around me, and what was happening in my life was contributing to whether or not I felt quote unquote happy. And after collecting all of these happy memories
yeah.
from Icelandic locals, many of them were just kind of boring things. Like one man said he felt really happy that morning watching his son dive into the pool at his swim lesson. Things like that. An older
Yeah.
couple, they said, "Oh, well, we were just very happy eating at this really nice cafe. Oh, what was the name of that cafe? Oh, yeah, I felt really happy there." And that made me rethink
Mm,
what the concept of happiness was,
yeah.
and not just manifesting happiness in my own life, but seeking it out,
Mm.
not waiting for it to happen to me, but saying, "Oh, that made me really happy today." Or that I say delighted me, that delighted me
Oh,
today, and
that's so
focusing on those
charming.
moments of delight. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
like that.
That is so
That's not
nice.
to say, that's not to say that there's no pain, that there's no sadness,
Of course.
that there aren't any lows or anything. But compared to the life that I was living previously,
Yeah,
I would say that I'm able to appreciate the highs within the lows
sure.
more than I was before.
Let me ask you this. So you were saying that you were in Iceland for 5 weeks, but that the a lot of the lessons you learned took a while to process. So when you first came back, kind of what was that re-entry like?
Yes, well, I don't want to give too much away
Okay,
because
I
it is
got
in
you.
my
Right,
epilogue.
little teaser, just a little teaser.
But it did make me ask myself, okay, I'm collecting all of these happiest memories. Where were my happiest memories?
Mm,
What was I doing? And I was thinking to myself, oh, when I was involved in the community theater and
mm,
had this community around me, and I was making art, and I had like these close friends, and so thinking of those answers, I did
mm.
make changes to my life immediately.
Nice.
Um, and so I ended up moving and starting a new life in an old place, and that definitely set me up for some success
Yes.
in my happy life. Though it
Mm.
did take a while to figure out the love thing, and I did go through some bad breakups. I didn't
But you
immediately learn.
persevered.
Yeah, I persevered. Yes, but I think
Nevertheless, she persisted.
exactly those lessons did also again set me up for success, so that when I did find the right
Right.
person to start my life with, I was also the right person for them.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
That's beautifully said. And let me ask you one other thing. Again, no spoilers, but what are there some key things that you would like readers to feel or think or consider once they read Happy Iceland?
Yes, my dream, Cardyn, my dream for this book is that it influences someone else to do their own happy project.
Mm.
that now suddenly there are happy projects everywhere. Happy Japan, happy New
Ooh.
York, happy Hawaii,
Mm.
happy Texas, and having it branch out in that
Mm.
way. I would love that to be the legacy of this book.
Yes, yes.
And on a smaller scale, if it's just one person reconsidering, oh, what actually makes me happy? Is it, going to this and that concert? Is it, going on this trip or that
Mm.
trip? Or is it the quiet that I have eating my oatmeal with blueberries in the morning and watching the sun come through the window just right that it
Right,
makes like a little rainbow on the wall?
right.
You know, having our mindsets
Mm.
shift a little bit to
Mm.
realize that we have these moments of delight throughout our day, even if our lives aren't necessarily reflecting what we wish that they were.
Mm. Mhm.
I think small moments are, and regular, what I call ordinary, or romantic moments in your life. For example, I'm a big fan of good cotton sheets. And a
Mm.
lot of times I
Mm.
secondhand them because they're too expensive.
Mm.
But I have piles of wonderful sheets. And to me, that is just a pleasure that makes me happy. Like sometimes I'm laying in bed and the sun's coming in the window and I can see my tree out the window and my dogwood, and I have that pile of pastel sheets and I'm happy. They're comfortable. The temperature's right in the room. Just taking those moments. I think it's really wonderful that you have like you're thinking both in big terms, like, partners and family and the bigger picture, but also the small moments are actually, all those little small moments is actually what makes up a happy life. If you can notice them,
Exactly.
if you can
Hmm.
notice them. So this book comes out this month, right?
That's right, at the end of June, June 27th, 20 days.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay!
Less than 3 weeks now.
Congratulations. And where can people find it?
It's all over the internet
Okay.
and small bookstores. Please find it on Ingram. So if you want to support your local bookstore, please
Yeah.
tell them I would love to buy my book through you, and they can buy it through Ingram. They get the wholesale discount being a
Mhm.
bookstore.
Yeah.
And bookshop.org has it on pre-sale right now.
Mm.
And you can find those links on my website, of course.
So it's on
Nice.
pre-sale, so you can go out there right now and pre-order it, and pick up a happy little book for a happy summer.
Yes.
Um, I saw also that you do something called custom poetry. I just wanted to hear a little bit about that because I've seen some people do that kind of thing, which I find fascinating and intriguing and also very in the moment, happy moment. So tell us a little bit about that service.
Sure, yes. So I'm mostly a poet. So before Happy Iceland came out, I have two poetry collections. Before that, Survive By and Mother, comma, Verb. And I mostly teach poetry with my creative writing workshops.
Mm.
And 2 years ago now, I went through a training called Listener Poet Training, Certified Listener Poet Training through the Good Listening Project.
Yeah.
And that's a 3-month intensive on listening to people's stories and then being able to reflect their stories back to them through poetry. It's
Wow.
more of a healing service than like
Mhm.
a fun entertainment service.
Right, right.
They mostly provide services to hospitals or medical settings. So
Mm.
people who are in hospice or people who are receiving treatment, and also their caregivers and also the medical staff as well.
Oh, that's
So
lovely.
so I provide custom poetry. They call them listener poems. And so I provide listener poems for folks, if for funerals or weddings.
Mhm.
Most recently, I partnered with a Harvard medical doctor who wanted to provide listener poems for youth and young adults who are living with sickle cell disease.
Mhm.
Mm.
And so I created poems based on anonymous interviews that I was sent the transcripts of,
Mm.
and then wrote custom poems reflecting their story back to them. And that has been such a fulfilling thing in my life.
Yes,
I
yes.
would love to do more. I would love
Yeah.
to do more
And people
that
can
kind of
hire
project.
you to do that through your website.
They can
So
hire me.
it
Yep.
just says it right there, hire me. So, and you
Yes.
do other things that you can be hired for as well. And I hope that that you sell lots of copies of Happy Iceland. Where can people find you? Where do you hang out the most online, if at all?
I'm mostly on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook as well. If you find me anywhere, it's at Anne Marie Wells Writer everywhere. AnneMarieWellsWriter.com and on Instagram. And I am on Blue Sky, but I'm
Yeah,
rarely
I'm
there.
hardly there either.
Yeah,
At first, I
right.
was very gung ho about it, and now I'm
You can
not. I'm
also
like,
find me on Substack. And then, really quick about the listener poems
Yeah.
is that people can hire me. I also provide listener poems for free to anyone who has been impacted by ice. So, if
Mm.
you or anyone you know has been impacted by ice, you can contact me even anonymously through, fake email address or whatever, and I provide that service for free.
oh, that's
That's really
beautiful.
beautiful. And let me ask you very quickly, early on, you mentioned a children's book. And if I don't know if that's still in print or still available, if you'd like to say the title of that as
Yeah,
well.
my children's book, Mommy, Why Am I Bird? It's no longer in print. It had one
Okay.
printing and that was it, but you can find it online
Okay.
to read for free, or you can watch me read it on YouTube.
Oh,
And
nice. Okay.
then I also have a coloring book called Underwater Explorers and Rescuers, which does
Nice.
have a narrative arc. So
Yeah.
there are illustrations and to color in
Mhm.
and activities, but then it also follows River, who goes to different underwater environments and explores and learns about the environment and asks the reader to please help them to do different
Nice.
things. And it's for ages like 5 to 8. Yeah.
That's great.
Multi-talented. Well, thank you so much for being on with us today. We can't thank you enough. And I am really looking forward to reading this book because I have built some downtime into my summer this year, which I don't always do and which I haven't done in years. And so I've built some time in specifically for reading. So I'm really looking forward to
Yeah.
it. Anybody, please go out, pre-order. It sounds like a lovely summer read. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Bitchy Quill with Heather and Cardyn. Please like and subscribe, and I will put all of Anne Marie Wells' information down in the notes for the episodes that you can find her very easily with a click. Thank you so much, and you have a good day.